Hey y'all, I'm gonna try to hurry and do this before the kids realize I'm gone. Daddy's home, so yeah, got a few minutes to myself. So, I want to ask one question, so this will be really short and sweet. But first, I would like to take a moment to appreciate that Megan Remedy video she did the other day about basically really intimate details about her deterioration, and it had to do with her womanly parts. And oh man, the vegans are just, they're having fun with this one because of course none of them want to think that this could be happening to them. And I would say it's more likely happening to the ones who are like emaciated all the way around, because muscle and fat is going to disappear from wherever. It's not like going to pick specific parts of your body. You know, it's going to deteriorate from your organs. You're going to lose it everywhere. So yeah, it really made me appreciate, vegans come and they call me fat all the time, and they say I'm unhealthy looking and I'm old and I'm this and that. And yeah, it makes you appreciate all those womanly curves. I'm fat, okay, whatevs. I can grab a little bit. I don't care. I appreciate it now. Knowing that I can maintain, some healthy weight, that's good enough for me now. So anyway, yeah, they are, Rebecca tried to pull like a study showing how, it's only childbirth that makes things looser or whatever. And, vegans and their studies, what is that? I mean, come on now. Because the thing is, you're not going to find a study on this. I mean, that's just common sense. It's not like scientists are sitting around like, this is what I should devote my life to researching. Vaginas and the muscle and fat composition within, and so yeah, it's really common sense. If your muscle and fat is wasting away, it's going to waste away everywhere. So and it makes, like I said, it makes you appreciate your womanly curves, and we shouldn't be shamed and told that we're supposed to have like less than 20% body fat on her, just a really unhealthy amount to where you can't even have, your womanly cycle, your hormones, and it's all around, it's a sickness. And I'm more and more beginning to think that this whole, it's like really facilitating eating disorder and body dysphoria or body dysmorphia, because they get in there, and like Megan was saying, she got so small to where when she started gaining weight back, she started looking in the mirror and feeling like it's not supposed to be there, like it's, gross, it's, fat, it's unhealthy, it's all the things vegans are coming and telling us. But anyway, enough about that. I will link it in the description. I would say every single woman needs to watch that, and more people as well. Men can watch it too, whatever. But okay, so for my one question, I would ask, just very simple, is there one ex-vegan, any ex-vegans, who did it right? That's it. I've asked this question on so many different vegan channels, and they either just ignore me, because that's usually what vegans do. They ignore, they ignore you. But the ones who do answer, I have to preface this by saying, leave religion out of it. I'm talking about diet and nutritional needs, because they all come in and say they were never vegan. So of course none of them did it right. They were never vegan. And that just shows like how look, just leave religion out of this. Is there any that did it, ate the right way? They ate the Daily Dozen. They did a Whole Foods diet and it didn't work for them? Is there one? Is there any? And if you can't rationalize that there are any people like that out there, then that should show you how illogical this mindset is. It's very, very illogical if you cannot think of one, because there's, that leads them to having to admit that it's not adequate for everyone across the board, and they would have to admit that if they acknowledge that there are one or two or, a group of people that did it right and still couldn't maintain health. And I think that's why they really dislike the unnatural vegan, Swayze, because I think she, if she could hear this question, I think she could answer that. And, there are some logical vegans out there that could answer that and be like, okay, well, maybe for whatever reason, uptake, conversion rates, maybe their absorption, there are so many different factors. So yeah, of course, there are people out there that couldn't maintain their health on plants alone because, you have to convert all the nutrients, most of the time. And yeah, like I said, microbiome issues, there are all sorts of issues. I've been looking into B12 of recent, and I think I'm figuring out why so many vegans have like this yellowing, and it's really slight, like you can't really see it really well in a lot of them, but I'm noticing it with on their feet, hands, and vegan deterioration. I've talked about this. A lot of people have talked about it, but nobody can really. I've heard some people pinpoint it to like B12, but I didn't understand how. And I was thinking like jaundice, but no, that doesn't make sense because jaundice would be like everywhere, all over the body, just like a baby is like yellow, and then their whites of their eyes are yellow because it's the red blood cells, breaking down, and then the bilirubin is released, and that's the yellow one you see. So there's a type of anemia due to B12, or it can be due to folate, and it's called megaloblastic anemia. And the red blood cells, they're not dividing appropriately in the bone marrow. And so when they move out, not many get to come out, so you have less oxygen in the body. And then the ones that do are very large and they're fragile. And so they break down really easy. And then bilirubin is the byproduct of this. And so that would make sense to me why we would see it only in like certain areas of the body. Maybe your feet, hands, you're using those areas more often, so you're breaking down those red blood cells. I don't know why around the mouth. I guess you're using your mouth a lot. But yeah, that sort of makes sense to me. And I was going to do a video on this, but I was going to wait until I understood more about it. Maybe people, in the comments could help me understand this a little more, because I don't know everything about B12. I don't, and I'm wondering why, though. And it seems to be the long-term vegans. I'll show a few of them. But, these people are taking their B12. They've been taking it for years and years. And they seem to believe, the studies show, that the absorption of it, it works pretty well. Supplementation works pretty well. So, yeah, it's a really, it's like a puzzle I'm trying to put together. And maybe there's something about this long-term use orally, and that isn't being absorbed appropriately. I don't know. They're like pernicious anemia. It's there's a certain factor. There's that it's not moving to where it's supposed to be. So maybe there's something with that, something with the bacteria. There are different factors that it could be, and I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna wait a little bit till I understand it a little better. And yeah, bacteria eat B12, so that could be it. The bad bacteria, if you have like an overgrowth, SIBO, things like that. But yeah. if anybody knows about that, why is long-term supplementation not working? And they think it's working, so just something to think about. And if you're vegan, I would go and get like a Schilling's test. I would make sure that the absorption, that you're getting adequate absorption. Maybe there's something we don't understand about this. Maybe there's, because the route that you absorb B12 through foods, it starts with the salivary glands, and there's like all kind of, different steps to this process, and it ends way in, in the ileum or the colon. But it's a long process, and maybe there's something about that that's necessary, to get adequate absorption. I don't know. We don't know. But yeah, let me know. So again, the question was, is there any ex-vegans, any at all, that did it right? While leaving religion out of this. So if you're a vegan, try to answer that. And yeah, I'd like to see what you guys think. All right.
It's a religion at this point. It's a really weird, really sad religion.